start streaming with all these pixels. Oh my gosh. I really like having all these pixels.
What good are they?
Lets me do this.
Okay.
Before I couldn't have both of these up at the same time.
You just make them smaller.
No, because there weren't enough pixels. I couldn't make them small. Because then I couldn't read anything. But these, I can, because there weren't enough pixels in that old monitor. You want that monitor back? It's a perfectly good monitor.
I don't need. I have 2. I don't need 3.
Would any of the listeners like a 4x3, like 1280 by something monitor?
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that one. That one was not big enough.
Oh, I thought you meant the 1920 by 1200 one.
No, I'm keeping that one. I'm going to use it in the other room.
Okay.
I'm not giving that
not
one away.
the 1280 by 720.
I'm not giving away my like old but nice ultra sharp.
Oh, I was like, what? There's plenty of room on a 1920 by 1200 monitor to put 2 browser windows. What are you talking about? It's like, oh no, it was a 1280 by 720 monitor that could.
It is nearly 1280 by 1280. I had a basically completely square monitor at IBM a long time ago, like actually just a square, like 1 by 1. It was on a old 386, not a laptop, but a portable computer is the way to put it. All right.
Oh no, it isn't 1280 by 720. It's 1280 by 1024.
It's 1280 by something.
1024.
All right. I think we're good here. Oh, that volume. All right, this is the new audition. Woo! Let me set my dynamic range to be much higher. Bah! Yeah, we're good. We're good. And there's already someone watching.
Go away. Go away.
Let's do it.
Go away.
Let's do it.
Rim's going to come and do you. Run away.
Some of them might be into that. All right. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, December 17th, 2000.
No, it's December 18th.
Right.
You changed the day, but not the date.
God damn it. Move the... right? One person will know.
2 people know. I'm here.
It's Tuesday, December 17th,
No,
2018. God damn it. I'll put these in the outtakes at the end. It's Tuesday, December 18th, 2018. I'm Rim.
I'm Scott.
And this is Geek Nights. Tonight, it took us way more takes to do that opening than it should have. And we're talking about the new Smash Brothers. Because what else are we going to talk about?
The ultimate Smash Brothers.
There's an ultimate Smash Brothers. All right. Do. All right, we're going. I got my opening bit. So it's gaming day. I'm not going to belabor the point. We're going to review this on an episode of Geek Nights at some point in the nearing future, I assume, because Scott will probably go see it. Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse is, in my opinion, having seen it last night in the theater, the best superhero movie ever made, or at least in the top 5.
It's not exactly a high hurdle to get over.
I did not say it was a high hurdle. I'm just simply saying that this movie got over that hurdle. However low that bar was, this movie easily jumped it.
An even lower hurdle that I'm sure that not even having seen it, I can almost guarantee that I don't know if it's the best superhero movie ever, because there are superhero movies that, like, say Unbreakable, which are actually good.
Yeah,
right.
But they're technically superhero movies.
I can easily wager money, right? No question that it is the best Spider-Man, not just movie, any video Spider-Man thing.
Spider-Man media that moves.
That's not a comic book.
This movie is fucking phenomenal. It is one of I would say it is one of the best
I don't even
movies.
need to see it to know that.
It is one of the best movies, animated or not, superhero or not, of 2018. Like, I will stand by that statement. I kind of want to go see it in the theater again.
I'm probably going to go on Christmas because that's what you do on Christmas. You go see a movie.
The reason I'm like really driving this home is that I'm free in Geek Nights. You know, Scott hasn't seen the movie yet, but I have. We are usually pretty cynical about things and usually pretty right about things. Like, when I go into something, I tend to have low to middling expectations. And when I went into this movie, based on the buzz I saw, I came in with pretty high expectations. When I have high expectations, that maybe 2 or 3 times in my entire life have those high expectations been exceeded by anything. This movie is really, really good, and you should go see it. I still cannot think of even one complaint I have about it.
I just wanted to see it because it's got my boy Spider-Man 2099 in it. If people don't know, Spider-Man 2099 is a comic book from the 90s when I was like 10 or so. And that was the comic that I bought from issue 1 every single month. I think I have all of them now. I have every issue. I might have redundant issues, but that's comic,
the cyberpunk Spider-Man.
That is the comic book that made me learn cyberpunk things because I read it way before I read, say, William Gibson novels. And that's why when people were talking about cyberpunk stuff, even though I hadn't read any William Gibson novels, I knew what the hell they were talking about, right? Even without seeing a Blade Runner, right? And also, people don't know this because most people probably haven't read Spider-Man 2099. Spider-Man 2099 is a huge asshole. He's not nice like the other Spider-Mans. He's basically this piece of shit, like, super genius geneticist guy who, like, ends up in his own experiment that combines his DNA with the spider. And he's just an ass to everybody. He's not a good person.
But, like, this movie also, if you can see it in 3D, it is one of the best uses of 3D I've ever seen.
I really wish, just a side note quickly about the 3D. You know when you went to Disney World and they had like Honey, I Shrunk the Audience and Muppet 3D.
Yeah.
And they really went and the Terminator one at Universal.
Yeah.
Where they really went full on with the 3D. And that shit was in the 90s, right? Where they went full power 3D, like poking you in the face, really messing with you, right? Like really pushing 3D to the limit in terms of making it a thing that mattered. And no 3D movies that are in the theaters these days are doing that stuff.
If I had to rank movies that I have seen in 3D that use 3D effectively,
I'm just saying I want Muppets 3D 90 minutes at least instead of the 10 minutes it is. It must be like it's not very long if you go to Disney World, if it's even still there, right?
This movie is so beautifully animated, it is shocking.
Right, but does it have like things constantly come and poke you in the face like, whoa?
I guess the best one, because I don't want to spoil stuff, it has a couple of eye pokes, but not that many.
Better than the 0 that you get in like a 3D Star Wars.
No, the thing is, it is very 3D, and because it was animated, someone every time anything is in 3D in any capacity, someone decided, I want this part to be in 3D like this for reasons.
It wasn't a 2D conversion deal?
Nope. No. This movie is 3D.
That's good.
The only movie I've ever seen.
That's pretty much how I decided. Like, if it was made in 3D with 3D cameras,
I tend to not like it.
Then I'll go see it in 3D.
See, I do the opposite.
If it's
Here's the problem.
You want to go see the 3D conversions?
There's 3 kinds of 3D movies. This is kind of a sidetrack.
There's 3 kinds?
There's 3 kinds.
Cut it out.
3 kinds. 5 is right out. So the first kind is they film it in 3D and then they show it in 2D or 3D. Those movies tend to not use 3D very well because they're just accurately representing whatever 3D was happening in the filming. They're not using the 3D for its own artistic device. Kind of just a gimmick. Tends to not be that good, or tends to just, at best, not be distracting. Doesn't add to the movie usually. Then there's take a movie that was made in 2D or
with 2D cameras.
Yep. Or was shot with 3D cameras but intended to be 2D. And
why would you shoot with 3D cameras if you make it a 2D movie?
To make it easy to make the 3D version.
You just need a lot more light and it's harder to make the movie.
But a lot of movies will make a 3D version that nobody wanted. There's no artistic reason to do it, usually from 2D shooting, just so they can release it in the theater in 3D and charge people more money for it. Those are the worst. But then there's the movies where, like Mad Max, which was not shot in 3D to be a 3D movie, the new Mad Max, but 3D was added in post on purpose for artistic reasons. And it was done like scene by scene for the same kinds of reasons you do color grading. And it's phenomenal. Mad Max Fury Road and this Spider-Man are easily 2 of the best uses of 3D in movies I have ever seen.
They're not better than that Terminator thing or in terms of 3D.
Different.
In terms of 3D-ness.
Yeah, but the thing is, those are
just
different.
Just the 3D aspect of them.
You know what I'd say? The different one. Those don't hold up that well, like those experiences to our modern sensibilities.
Well, I mean, they're all gone. I don't think any of them are still there. I don't think Honey, I Shrunk the Audience is still there.
But 2, I would say that those are more like in VR. There's home VR. And then there's installation VR. Those are installation 3D, as opposed to...
They were just movie theaters with 3D glasses.
No, they also had physical effects.
Yeah, but those weren't necessary.
Oh, I thought you wanted full on. Let's go all the way.
Yeah, with
4D.
The 3D part. We don't need the spraying water on you part when the dog sneezes.
Oh, yeah, you do.
No, you don't.
Anyway.
I mean, if you want to put that in every movie theater, be my guest.
I think we should.
That's going to get really gross as all the wet seats and shit.
Yep. Anyway, go see Spider-Man. Holy crap. So, got some news.
All right.
And the news is, well, I guess we'll do this one first. So, everyone wants to get on the PUBG Fortnite train.
Well, this is what happens in the gaming world. This has always happened in the gaming world, right? Ever since the olden day, is someone makes a video game, and then someone makes Space Invaders, and then what? Someone else makes a game that looks just like Space Invaders. Right.
Base Invaders.
Right. Then they made Mario, and then there's Gianna Sisters, and then they made, right? It's like someone comes up with a new genre of video game, say an RTS, like, Dune 2, and then you get a Command and Conquer, and you get a Warcraft, and you get, right? Someone comes up with an FPS, like, say, a Doom, and then you get a Quake, and you get a Duke Nukem 3D, and you get, it's like, okay, so... Here you go. PUBG came out with a PUBG, and then there was a Fortnite, and then there was an era, and then so-and-so.
Now, I guess my problem, like, it's kind of bad. Like, I played it. I got second place in my first game. Like, game's not hard. It's easy to kill people.
It's the same as Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
But yeah. Oh, by the way, there's a Counter-Strike PUBG.
Yeah, it's Counter-Strike PUBG.
Yeah.
Battle Royale mode. But the thing is, I really like Counter-Strike, and I'm okay at Counter-Strike even to this day somehow. But the problem is, this game doesn't feel like Counter-Strike at all. What I expected...
The shooting part does.
Barely. Also, good luck getting a gun.
That's yeah.
The problems with this game...
I got an AUG and then died immediately once.
Oh my god, if I got an AUG in that game, I'd be unstoppable.
Yeah, the thing is, I picked up the AUG and I was loading it, and I got shot in the back.
Even if I get like one pistol, I just like... Yeah, most people seem to look at that tablet and be like, oh shit, there's people near me. I'm afraid. No, if I look at that tablet, all it tells me is where I'm going to go fucking kill some people. But the problem is, the reason it doesn't feel like Counter-Strike, what I expected was everyone lands, you all have like P90s and crap, go for it. It's just Icy World on a giant map. Like, that's all I wanted. But this is you start with just your fists, and there's all these bullshitty mini games like, oh, collect dollars in briefcases and order a bullet from a drone that'll deliver to you.
And then
or, like,
someone else can hear and see the drone, and then they come after you. I've never seen a hostage. People talked about them. I've never seen one.
I found a hostage, and I picked him up, and I took him somewhere, and it gave me so little money that it didn't matter. Basically, they added all this crap to the game that has nothing to do with the good part of Counter-Strike.
Which is shooting people in the head.
Yeah, the good part of Counter-Strike is that feeling you get firing that P90. It's just pop, 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 go, go, go. This is the opposite of that.
It's puff, puff, go, go, but it's panicking puff, puff, go, go, because you have nothing, and someone else probably has a gun, and
no one has a gun.
And what do? You look at your fucking tablet, and now someone could kill you while you're messing around with it, trying to figure it out.
But the problem is Counter-Strike is not made for this. So when they start, the draw distance messes up. So like you can't actually see people in the distance effectively.
Nope.
Nor does cover work effectively.
And there's not that many people. It's not 100 people on the
map. It's
map.
like 16, right?
Yeah, it's not a lot of people.
But the other trouble with it, and you can get trapped. The maps aren't that well designed, so like this closing circle will just trap you sometimes, like literally no way out.
Yeah, it's not great.
But also
I couldn't tell like where the circle was and shit because the map is really confusing.
I started to figure it out, but the real problem is it starts you with just fists, and it's a really long.
I punched someone to death. I also clubbed someone to death with a wrench.
I've used a knife to kill a bunch of people.
There was someone I was stabbing with a knife. And after I died, obviously I didn't kill them. I looked. It shows you like your stats.
Yep.
They literally had I did 99 damage to them. One more swipe, they would have been dead. They managed to, while I was stabbing them repeatedly, finish loading an ump. So I don't know where they got it from. Turn it on me and fire like 2 bullets because it was the start of the game. I had nothing. I don't know where the ump came from.
But here's the problem: they start you with fists, right? The melee mechanics of Counter-Strike have never been good.
No, knife fight is for silliness. It's not for serious.
You don't actually use a knife. So basically, they took all the not fun parts of Counter-Strike, amplified them, took the fun parts, like unloading on someone with a P90, made them almost impossible to achieve, and then added a bunch of fiddly mini games. Oh, I don't know who designed this.
Right. The reason that...
who is this for?
At least from my perspective, the reason the Battle Royale games are popular, right, is the same reason that people play an RTS and are like, don't attack me for like 10 minutes, I'll build, right? And that's what the PUBG games are.
But the beauty of Counter-Strike is that you start with everything already.
Right. It's the PUBG games and the other Fortnite games, what they're about is it's quiet, the map is big, and even though there's a lot of people, right, we can all sit around leveling up, collecting items, and getting gear, and have that fun, the same fun you have just building a little StarCraft base with no one messing with you, right? And then you're going to have to encounter at least someone maybe early on, but it's only maybe going to be like one person because the map is so big. And if you want to, you can land in the crowded area if you want to have that fun too, right? It's up to you.
Yep.
But you know, most people are, and this does not offer either of those experiences. You're not
I'd
allowed to land in the same place as someone else, so you can't go for that immediate fight.
Yep.
And there's only 16 people, and the map isn't that big, so you can't like have a million years to mess around and get a whole bunch of weapons before you see someone. You can't do either one.
And the ways to get weapons are these just not fun add-ons to Counter-Strike.
The two fun modes of the Battle Royale games are not available in the Counter-Strike Battle Royale game. And I guess you could say that's good because it's different, but it's bad because it's not fun. It's not fun.
Like, I don't know who this is for. Anyone who's good at Counter-Strike will just be frustrated by this.
It's for Valve to be like, we're really losing our FPS market to these.
Valve is not doing well with its games lately
because they stopped making them. You gotta by not continuously making games. It's we talk about this a lot where it's like, well,
the submarines.
We don't need new submarines. We have plenty. Yeah, but if you're not continuously making a new submarine all the time, you lose the intelligence of making submarines. And if you say all right, we don't need a new one for 50 years. 50 years later, hey, we need a new submarine now. There's no one alive who has any expertise in making them.
Yep, good game.
Valve, there's plenty of expertise in making plenty games and FPSs, but Valve has not been continuously making games since they made Dota and Artifact not doing great, right?
Yep.
Relatively speaking. So they've sort of are not the studio they used to be in terms of game making. They have a bunch of experts at Steam making.
But the one good thing
they're even being assaulted on that front now.
Yeah. Well, because Counter-Strike's not keeping up either with these other games. Like, Counter-Strike needs to understand, like, as a game, the people who are behind all this, the niche it falls into, because it can't compete with PUBG. PUBG and Arme and all these things are focused on, like, real-world realism. Mm-hmm. That space exists. Counter-Strike is not that. Don't try to compete with that.
Well, they definitely didn't try to compete with that.
It also can't be the silly Fortnite, because that stuff that's its own world of building a house like in the middle of a match. But the beauty of Counter-Strike is the same beauty that Action Quake 2 had of you start with a bunch of guns, just fucking go. Like the way I always describe Counter-Strike to people, the original game was the game begins the moment negotiations with the terrorists broke down, like that second. Mm-hmm. And that is the beauty. This has to be the 100 men enter, 1 man leaves. That's just everyone has a P90 and a giant map. Go.
Yeah.
I would play the shit out of that.
It was FY Ice World. We played it all the time, but it didn't have 100 people on it.
Yeah, it had
and you kept respawning.
We'd still put like 30 people in that tiny map because it was hilarious.
Right. You should choose this. You should choose a full infinite money Counter-Strike equipment loadout. Right, and actually, it would be cool because it would be sort of the opposite of what PUBG is. Right, when you play a PUBG, as you go on, if you survive, you get more. You kill someone, you get more and more stuff. Right, you build up over time. It would be Counter-Strike could be very successful doing the opposite, where everyone starts with a full loadout,
but they're starting to run out of ammo.
Right, but it's like, okay, I'm surviving and killing these other people with my fully loaded AUG, full armor, full grenades, full night vision, full everything. And then as the match goes on, well, I've killed 10 people. I have no AUG ammo left. I'm using my pistol.
Yep, armor's worn down. Oh, I killed this guy.
Someone else conserved their ammo and maybe still has an MP4 or whatever, right? Okay, my pistol's out. Now it's knife fight with the last guy. Yep. Not because it's, what was the mode where you had to knife fight the last guy?
Oh, gun game.
It's not knife fight at the end because it's gun game. It's knife fight at the end because anyone who lasts that long against 100 opponents only has a knife left.
It ends up being you get that situation of I've got an AUG and 3 bullets for it, I could pick up this shotgun that has 8 shells in it. Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't let you pick up other people's stuff. I would make it so that your stuff goes down over time no matter what, because all you start with is all you can get at the end. Right. Anyway.
The point is, this game is not fun.
It might one day be fun, but who will be playing it then if they keep working on it?
But I don't think the problem is they added all this crap, and I feel like the first step is to remove all the crap they added. But I feel like that is most people who are like product managers or game designers, removing all the crap you just added is the one thing that is impossible for them to do. If you're out there, if you're listening to GeekNights and you have that one single tear being shed because we're crapping all over your game, just remove all the crap. And you will win.
Just make exactly what I said. Counter-Strike. Exactly the same as Counter-Strike. Giant map. 100 people.
Yeah, it's basically gun game on that giant map.
Before the game starts, you buy as much stuff as you want.
Yep, make your whole loadout.
You get dropped fucking somewhere. It might be with a lot of people, might be an empty zone, doesn't matter. And you never get more stuff. You only use the stuff you started with, and the last person alive wins. That's the whole game. Done.
I would let people pick things up, but here's the rule. I would do it the way old Counter-Strike did, where players drop whatever weapon was their current primary equipped weapon and nothing else.
Because then you wouldn't run out of ammo. You wouldn't have the knife fight with the last guy that way. You would find someone. You would find someone who was murdered early and pick up their almost full, machine gun.
Well, to make it interesting, they'll drop if they drop a weapon. It has at most 1 clip's worth of ammo in it. Then you could swap weapons, but it's always still the zero-sum game.
Too complicated. It's real simple and real pure to just be like, you got what you started with, you play to the end.
Yeah. But
right?
really,
you don't got to mess around with
this game
weird
is just
stuff.
not like, don't even bother with it. It's just not fun.
No.
However, the other news is that as part of this, they released Counter-Strike Go just free to play.
Yeah, I paid for Counter-Strike way back in the day. It's really weird, right? Way back in the day, I had Half-Life 1, which I didn't pay for. I got the CD from a kid in high school, and I used his key, right? And then it was like he was using the key too, but it didn't matter in those days, right? It was the CD-ROM for Windows 95 or whatever, 98 SE, right? And then when Steam came out, right, I was, at the time, I had this Half-Life 1 installation, which is legal, but using someone else's key, and with a Counter-Strike mod attached to it for free. And Steam came out, and the day Steam came out, it sort of inherited my Half-Life and turned it into a legal copy of Half-Life with a legal copy of Counter-Strike. Right?
Yep.
That I didn't have to pay for because I had pirated Half-Life 1.
A lot of us got through that loophole.
And Counter-Strike was free. So I sort of grandfathered into a legal Half-Life license and a legal license for Day of Defeat and all the other Half-Life things, which they were then, when the Steam store opened, they were charging money for all these things that I had grandfathered into getting for free. And I just kept getting grandfathered into every Counter-Strike and every Half-Life thing for free all the whole time. I never paid for Counter-Strike Go that I remember. Right? I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I don't think I did.
I paid for Counter-Strike Go. I bought it.
Did I have to? I think maybe I had to. I don't even remember. But it feels like I've just always had every Counter-Strike. I didn't pay for Counter-Strike Source. That was definitely free.
Yeah.
But, no, I paid for Half-Life 2 and Counter-Strike Source because I bought the gold, the red box, the orange box.
Oh, yeah, the orange box.
The orange box. Anyway. But I'm pretty sure I didn't pay for a lot of
But if you've never played regular old Counter-Strike, go play Counter-Strike Go.
Counter-Strike Go is now free. Load it up for free and play regular mode.
Yep, or demolition mode, which
that's regular mode.
No, demolition mode is not bomb defusal demolition.
Oh,
they have that mode that's like smaller maps and shorter objectives.
Oh, that one, yeah.
Yeah, where there's only one bomb site,
okay.
like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's fine.
That mode is actually real fun.
Yeah, because it's just small Counter-Strike.
Yep, it's small, quick Counter-Strike. So, in some other news.
Right, so we're going to talk about Smash today. I just wanted to quickly mention, or Geek Byte, this thing that I bought. It's the 8-bit Do G-Bro wireless adapter. So what this is, it's a little purple guy, right? And it's got.
I like how it's purple.
It's a little purple guy that looks sort of like the style of a GameCube controller. It's got 4 buttons on it, and on one side is sort of that connector that was on the bottom of a Wiimote. You know that weird connector?
Yeah.
Because Nintendo was actually using that connector for all those classic tiny consoles, like the NES Classic and the SNES Classic. Those all have that same bottom of Wiimote controller connector on bottom of them for like their SNES and NES
it looks
controllers.
like a sort of USB.
Yeah, I don't know what that thing on the bottom of Wiimote was, but we'll call it bottom of Wiimote connector. And on the other side of it, it has GameCube controller connector. And what you do with this thing is you get it, you put in 2 AA batteries, you clap it closed, you push a button to turn it on, you hold down another button, and it connects to your Switch, and your Switch thinks it's a Switch controller. And then you plug in either, say, one of your controllers from your NES or SNES Classic, or your classic controller that you plugged into the bottom of your Wiimote, right? Or, a GameCube controller into the other side. And now those controllers are connecting wirelessly to your Switch, so you can play Smash Brothers with your real GameCube controller on your Switch wirelessly. If you're super pro, I haven't measured it, obviously, but a lot of people online are measuring the lag of different controller options. There's a lot of YouTube videos and other articles measuring the lag of different controller options for controllers for Smash Brothers on the Switch. But if you don't care about lag because you're nowhere near pro and you suck anyway, you just want to use a GameCube controller because it's comfy and sit on your couch far away from the TV without a wire. At least you have a wire, but it doesn't go very far. Right? It doesn't have to go all the way to your Switch near your TV. the 8-bit do is not a bad purchase at all. It totally worked right out of the box. And you can also even use it with your PC if you really want to. So you can connect your game controller to play Steam games.
Oh, actually, I could... I might get one just for that, more so than using it with Smash.
Yeah, there's a little gray switch on the top that goes between S for Switch and X for, I think it's just like Bluetooth. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. But yeah, you can connect to a PC with it.
Yeah, I see a whole bunch of options like the spec sheet talks about.
I think it has a little USB, a micro USB connector, so I think you can actually plug it into the PC with the micro USB. I haven't tried that either. Anyway, it's worth it if you need it.
But anyway, things of the day. What do you got for me?
So I don't know the whole story here, but I saw this posted, and I got enough info to make it a thing of the day. It seems that it's in Russia. I'm pretty sure it's in Russia.
A group of people in Vladivostok, Russia.
In Russia, there was a bridge, and the bridge was cars only, no pedestrians. And these people wanted to get across the other side. Maybe they were protesting the fact that there was no pedestrian path. Maybe they just really needed to get across.
Maybe they're just teenagers, and that's what you do.
Just having a fun time. But anyway, they just put in a costume and dressed up as a vehicle to go over the vehicle-only bridge. And they had one of their friends wear like a safety vest with some lights to keep them from getting run over, walk behind her in front of them or whatever. And that's awesome. That's an awesome way of protesting. I wish we could have, I don't know if they are protesting.
See, it's not clear because I've seen some other people speculate that the person in the vest actually is a cop who was like, no, and was walking him back the other way.
That's possible.
It's not clear.
That's also possible, but regardless, we could do, even if they're not protesting and just being silly, I want to do this kind of protest to protest, say, cars parked in the bike lane.
Just crash into cars parked in the bike lane?
No, dress up as a car and park in a bike lane. Dress up as a bike, park in a car lane. I don't know. Something like that.
So, many of you might have seen the Super Mario Brothers movie. I saw it
quick story.
I saw it on opening night in the theater.
It was my friend's birthday party, and we were in the summer, and we were going to go see the Super Mario Brothers movie, which I believe was a summer blockbuster. And we went to the movie theater, and we were sitting in the movie theater, and the movie theater failed to play the movie.
What?
Due to some sort of technical problem in the projection room.
You really dodged the bullet bill there.
And I was very disappointed as a child who loved the Mario and watched the Super Mario Brothers Super Show and played an NES. And then we just
I have taken one step and then again.
We went to the park and played softball instead. And I think it was like, I think I was talking about it recently with the person whose birthday party it was, and they were like, yeah, it was like 1,000,000 degrees out. That's why we wanted to go to the air-conditioned movie theater.
Nah.
But anyway, I didn't see it until much later, and I was disappointed again.
So it's weird because the idea of it being like this weird, almost cyberpunk-looking dystopia, like, I feel like that could work. The movie was just badly made.
Yeah, it was a bad movie.
Like, it could have been good, even as weird as it was, but this is a 30-minute documentary that explains in pretty deep and fascinating detail, with a lot of things I had no idea about why it was so bad.
Right, GeekNights is very guilty of doing 30-minute reviews of 20-minute episodes of shows, where you just watch the show. You don't need to listen to our, talking us. We talk longer about the thing than the thing is. I feel like you spend 30 minutes listening to talking about a 90-minute movie. You can just watch the 90-minute movie.
But you watch the movie, you'll be like, wow, that was
bad as it is.
And didn't make sense, except for the Ba-Bomb and Big Bertha, which were literally the only good parts of the movie.
The Ba-Bomb was the good part of the movie.
Yeah, the Ba-Bomb and Big Bertha were good.
I don't remember Big Bertha. I just remember the Ba-Bomb.
Big Bertha has a kiss with Mario.
I remember the Ba-Bomb, though. Love me some Ba-Bombs.
But it is shocking how fucked up the production schedule of this movie was and why it was the way it was. And I think Dennis Hopper kept saying that to this day, this is the only thing in his entire life he regrets is being in this fucking movie.
Why wouldn't? Of course you'd regret having anything to do with this movie. Everyone in the whole list of credits regrets having anything to do with this movie. In
the meta moment, the GeekNights Book Club book is still A Space Odyssey 2001.
Yeah, so I don't have to work basically at the end of this week, I'm done until I have to work one day before MagFest. Like January 2nd, I have to work.
I got to work basically every day.
Then I don't have to work again until the Monday after MagFest. So I'm basically guaranteed to read this book in that zone. I actually promise that I'll read that book in that time frame.
All right, I will.
Because actually, I looked. I think we've done less book clubs in 2018 than previous years.
It's been a busy year.
Yeah. So, well, hopefully 2019, my goal is to do at least one more book club than 2018.
Part of it's my commute's so short now that I can't really read on the way to work anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we'll be doing that. Also, we will be at multiple upcoming conventions. So if you want to see us again live at MagFest, we will be doing...
Oh, I don't even know what we're doing.
The 40 games you must play.
Great.
Not just tabletop.
Great.
I came up with a good rule. The rule will be, in this panel for the games we list, the main rule is they have to be easily playable today by an average MagFest
most of our
attendee.
games are out of print and hard to get.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. Rare game mechanics.
Okay.
And read the rules as a panel with some really smart people.
Okay.
And then at PAX South, we will be doing nostalgia versus game design.
Okay.
And potentially another learn and play. We're going to bring the learn and play to win, the same thing we're doing at Unplugged. We're going to try to bring it to another PAX, so stay tuned on that. There's a good chance we'll do it at PAX South, but it's not set in stone yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We're good. So let me blow my nose.
No one wants to do Harm of Games.
I'm going to try to get that in for East.
I can make it in like 2 seconds, but I'm not gonna.
I thought about putting it in as a panel at MagFest, but they already had too many panels, so I just decided to let them.
3 is good. That means we got more time for MagFest.
All right. Smash time. I guess I should pull up the Wikipedia too.
About Smash Brothers.
Yeah, the franchise wiki.
Okay. Because there's not something about Smash Brothers we don't know. I'm sure there is, but it's nothing that matters.
So I'm gonna admit something about Smash Brothers.
You suck at it.
I'm okay. Better than you.
Maybe.
I think now because you didn't play the previous one really.
I did. I had it. I've played every Smash Brothers.
Did you ever play the previous one against humans?
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. Okay.
I was about as awful as I was with all the other previous ones.
But I never really liked the Nintendo 64, and I never owned one. So I never played the N64 Smash Brothers until I got to RIT.
Oh, I played it a whole bunch in high school.
And all you people in the lounge were like, Smash, like you're going to Smash. And you were all talking about it like it was a thing. And I was like, what, that dumb Mario fighting game? All right. And then I played it with all of you. And my opinion was not changed, and I did not enjoy it at all.
The game's way good. At least I only have good memories of playing it. I haven't played it in many years, but I only have good memories of playing N64 Smash.
It was not until the GameCube Smash where I was 100% Smash.
GameCube Smash was excellent, and all those nerds think it's the best one.
The GameCube Smash, I don't know if it's the best one because the new one will have to stand
That's the one the
test of time.
pros love, right?
I think it's the best one. If we exclude the potential for Ultimate to be the best one.
Anyway.
I think it is the best one because the N64 one was not that fun in my opinion.
Well, the Wii one, right, was like, it seemed really not, I mean, just from the perspective of a non-pro player, right? Like, it just didn't have the excitement of the GameCube one, right? Even though it had more stuff. I guess that was that Brawl.
Yeah, but it might have been partly. The problem was that you played Smash, the original one, in like high school with friends, and then we all played the GameCube one in college together in the same room and with like passing the controllers around on a TV.
But my memory of the Brawl one on the Wii was that it was just sort of like slower. At least this is my memory, which is not the greatest.
Oh, you couldn't get your frame perfect inputs in anymore?
Yeah, okay. No, but it's it felt like more sluggish and less dynamic than the GameCube one.
Yeah.
Right? And then the one that came after that, which was on the Wii U and the DS, I only played the DS one. I never played the Wii U one.
Yep, I thought it would be good.
It was supposedly the same game.
And it was pretty good. Like, it was fun. Like, I played it. The problem was, because it couldn't be played on a shared console, it was very hard to get games of it going because online play on a Nintendo thing is just garbage out the door.
Yeah, even though I owned every Smash except for the N64 one because I always played on someone else's N64. But the DS one, which I still have the cartridge right next to my DS, I played it the least. Like I don't even know if I unlocked all the characters.
Well, the main reason was that the only time I could really get that going would be at a party or at a convention. In both of those contexts, the local wireless just didn't fucking work ever.
Yep.
Games would crash more often than not. It was worthless.
Yep.
And at a PAX, like PAX Os, the second PAX Os was the last time I tried to play that Smash. I literally could not finish even one game in the entirety of PAX. People, and we were all trying.
And also, no one was going to buy a freaking Wii U, right? It was really the Wii U's fault, you know, is that, like, if the Wii U was a real thing, we would all had Wii U's and, you know, played it at parties and stuff, right?
Yep.
But because we did play the Wii one at parties and such, right?
And the other trouble was, while it was a legit good Smash game,
I don't know anyone who has a Wii U.
on the 3DS, Matt has one, I think.
Maybe, but I mean, like, maybe there are people who have Wii U's that I know, but I don't know that they have a Wii U.
That's like maybe people I know have an STD. But
Right,
I
it's
don't
like
know
Scott
for
Johnson
sure.
might have a Wii U.
He
I don't.
might.
I don't know.
And we don't want to find out.
I don't know if he has one or not.
But the problem with the 3DS one was that there weren't enough pixels on that screen.
No, not really.
So the game like didn't really work the same way.
Maybe we did a GeekNights on it when it came out, and I forget.
We did, and I'm pretty sure I remember what we said.
I don't remember what we said at all, if we did it or not. I don't
So-
even know if we did the episode. But anyway,
4 years later,
Smash Brothers Ultimate is out, and we got it. It's
So-
on the Switch, which is a great improvement over the other previous options.
yep. So I've been playing it a bunch. I've been unlocking stuff.
I've mostly been playing single player because we haven't had parties at my house.
But we're about to have New Year's where we're going to play it a bunch.
We're about to play a bunch of multiplayer in the near future. So
MagFest, we're going to play the shit out of it. PAX South, 3 events in a row. We're going to play the shit out of this game.
unless it sucks and we don't want to play it anymore.
Yeah, but at least so I can say this because we're not going to review like all the content we don't care about in this game. Like there's a lot of things you can unlock that I just don't care. I've never cared about that stuff. You can read some guide about it. But in terms of the actual...
I want to talk about that stuff.
We'll talk about it a little bit.
The spirit, whatever.
I just don't care about the spirit nonsense. But in terms of the actual core gameplay, it feels right. Start playing it to unlock, even though I don't, as an adult, I don't want to have to unlock shit. I just want all the characters. And I'm annoyed I have to unlock them.
I'm very annoyed.
I remember at RIT, we would like pass around the one good memory card that had everything unlocked.
Yep.
And I remember like multiple parties that were ruined because we'd be at someone's like apartment on campus. We're going to bust out the Smash. They don't have all the characters unlocked. And none of us brought the magic unlocker with us. And now we're stuck playing.
My
with,
memory card had everything unlocked.
Yep. And we passed your memory card around.
Anyway. But yeah, so there's... In terms of, like, the feel of the game, like, I'm not a pro, and I never will be, right? But in terms of, like, playing the Smash, you know, it's like everything feels like all the old Smashes, right? All
The timing feels right. The moves are right.
The only thing that feels wrong, and I'm not knowledgeable enough to know, about, you know, fighting game-wise, if this is different from previous Smashes,
I'm really curious what you're about to say.
Is that there's some sort of, like, input buffering going on. Right? So, for example, let's say I do a really slow attack. Like, I do a big old hammer swing, like, whoosh, right? And so that'll probably be like, I guess for Kirby's hammer swing, it's what, like, it's special, it's like, you know, special to the right, right? It's like, you know.
I don't play Kirby.
Kirby's
care.
good. I don't
like Kirby.
Anyway.
I'm all about the princess.
You know, the guy who made Smash Brothers, Sakurai, got his start making Kirby games. He's the Kirby guy.
I don't like playing Kirby.
Anyway, but let's say you do a really slow attack. And in the middle of that slow attack, let's say you just press A to do a regular attack, right? And then you don't touch anything. As soon as that special attack's animation finishes, the A attack will just like come out. Like it's been stored in the buffer, right? So fighting game people, like that's a natural thing to them, like buffering up moves for combos and stuff like that, right? And this may have been in the previous Smashes. I don't know if it's new in this one, but maybe just because I'm older, slower, more knowledgeable about this sort of thing from watching a bunch of speedrunners.
Smash 4 Wii U input buffering in depth.
Okay. So anyway.
I never attempted to buffer inputs because
I've never attempted to buffer an input in my life. What I'm saying is that my natural thing to do when I'm playing a game like this.
Supposedly it's only in Brawl and 4.
Okay. Anyway. Well, that wiki might not be updated for the new.
Yeah, I mean, the new one, I assume, also has it.
The new one has it. But anyway.
I assume it wasn't in the previous ones.
Right. Anyway.
At least not in this
What
one.
happens is, just as someone who's playing naturally, sort of not button mashing, but also not a pro in my zone where I am, right? Where I'm pushing buttons with intent, knowing what they do, but also sort of mashing them and not having any finesse or skill.
Yes, Smash 64 and Smash Melee had no like intuitive or usable buffering mechanics.
Exactly. Okay, so what I do...
And any buffering you could pull off was basically like frame perfect bullshit.
Right. So what I do as a natural, just my muscle memory is, for example, I'll be doing a slow move, right? I'll swing a hammer real slow, and things are still happening while this animation is going on. So let's say I do the slow move, and then someone's coming in from the top. So I'll start mashing like an up A, right? Because like I want that up A to come out as soon as possible, right? But then, I'm mashing that up A, but meanwhile, as I'm mashing it and the slow animation is still happening, maybe things change and that person's now coming in behind me. So I switched like a left A instead of an up A, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it's like in the olden days, what would happen with the no input buffering is as soon as my animation finished, basically whatever I pushed next would happen. So even though I switched to a left A, the left A is what happens, right? As soon as I managed to press it on a free frame.
Yep. I think the reason this bothers you is probably just that because you didn't play a lot of like those Smash Brothers.
Exactly. So with input buffering, what happens is I was pushing the up A during my animation. I switched to the left A, but no, that up A is in the buffer. And once my big slow animation finishes, the up A comes out, and it's like, no, I switched to the left A. Why is this up A in the buffer, right? I would really much rather have it eat all of my inputs unless I'm on a free frame, and then accept inputs again, just because that's what feels natural to someone who's not a fighting game player and isn't thinking about input buffering.
Yep.
It's just naturally, like, whatever button I'm pressing is what I want to fucking happen, right? And if I push something and it didn't happen because I was busy doing something else, then I don't expect that thing to suddenly happen later if I've switched to telling you something else.
Well, all it means is you're going to get used to not committing to a buffered action in the middle of a long action.
Right, I have to wait for the animation to finish,
and then buffer
do a frame perfect input on the free frame, figuring out, or
buffer the
one input and wait for that move to happen, and then buffer another input. Right? It's just not natural to someone who's not a fighting game player, and I think that it's sort of like you got this. Smash Brothers as a whole, the story of it is that it's two games. It's a game for these pro fighting game people, but is different from all the other fighting games, but is still a pro competitive game. And it is also this wacky, crazy party game with a bunch of items and ridiculous nonsense. And it's somehow managed to be both at once really well, better than any other game is two things at once, but also still has problems because it's trying to be two things at once, right? The pro people have to use these features that they've added quite nicely, in fact, that allow them to limit. They've added all these like profiles you can make to where it's like, okay, I could add like pro mode to the game, so you customize like, okay, don't use any of these maps, don't use any of these characters, don't use any of these items.
Keep only like the items that are skill based.
And then you save that configuration, and then later on when you come back, you just be like pro mode, go, and it's already in pro mode, right? It's already, you can save those setups. So we're, back in the day, we used to constantly like, oh, we forgot to switch it to stock 5.
Yeah.
None of that. You just save standard stock mode, and then when you go to play with your friends, you go stock mode, go.
Because frankly, in my personal taste, stock 5 is the only way to play. I don't care about.
Right. No.
I don't like the frantic get kills mode.
No.
Because I'm not a pro, and I never will be a pro.
The point is, pros play stock.
I'm Princess going back and forth along the top, avoiding Scott and letting him do my dirty work.
Anyway, so they've added pros have to eliminate all the fun stuff, right? Even though they've made it easier for them to do it, but normal people. The actual mechanics of the game, right, like the buffering and other things like that, aren't really changed, right? For them, they can't like disable or make the game simpler or wackier control-wise. So even when you're playing crazy party mode, the pro stuff doesn't go away. So if you play with a pro person, you're gonna get ruined. Right?
Yeah.
And they've added so many like really fine details in this game. Like moving your shield, and like if you roll too many times.
You could do that before.
Yeah, but it's like it matters. Right? It's like, you can, if you roll more, if you like roll a whole bunch constantly, you start rolling slower.
Well, they've always had that. If you even in Brawl or the Melee, I'm pretty sure if you kept using one move of any kind, that move was gimped in some way if you kept doing it.
But it's like there's so much subtle finesse stuff going on in Smash that has this super high skill cap. And that super high skill cap is always there. You can't turn it off.
I kind of liked that, though, because for a casual player, or even like...
I like it if I was a competitive player.
But as a casual player, you won't even know. The game just sometimes something funny happens. You're not quite sure why.
Yeah, but it's also sometimes frustrating to play as a casual player because it's like, oh, I thought I was hit. Why did I get hit there, right? And instead of me hitting you, I was doing a move.
Dude, a casual player will never ask the question, why did I get hit there?
I ask that all the time.
Well, you ask that in You asked that in turn-based games. So.
Yes. Yes, I do. No, but it happens a lot where, like, I'm swinging my sword, someone else is swinging a sword, and then I'm the one who takes damage. It's like, why, right? The game, you know, I don't know. For a pro person, that would just be natural, but for a casual player, it sometimes can be frustrating.
Yep.
Right.
The only thing that annoys, like, the game's fun, and it feels right, and, like, the Smash mechanics feel good. I just don't like to have to unlock things anymore.
I really don't like unlocking anything
I've never liked to have to unlock things, and I wish there was a way to pay to just not have to unlock any of this crap.
It shouldn't have to pay. It should just be, all the characters should just be there. The end.
Like, I
still don't have Game & Watch, my second fave guy. I still don't have him.
And I remember, it's not like we've changed. Even at RIT, like I said, we hated unlocking things, and we sort of, like, always played on one memory card to unlock everything as fast as possible, so everyone would have everything unlocked.
Yeah, it's like that's something I could do when I was younger. I was talking to someone who was like, "Oh yeah, I just unlocked it in, like, you know, an afternoon." You know, it's like he's like
5 or 6 hours. He's like, yeah, that's 5 or 6 days for me.
This guy I was talking to, he was like, "Yeah, it's on a 10-minute timer. So what you do is you wait 10 minutes and then you come back to the game and you unlock a character and then you go away again." And I'm like, first of all, I'm not that good, so when I get a new challenger appearing, sometimes I lose.
Well, that's just sad. I don't know what's wrong with you. I've only lost once, ever.
Well, I said I'm not very good. And two, it's like, really? I don't have time for that shit. Sit there at a 10-minute timer. Like, you know, it's like, I'm an adult. I have shit to do. I'm not like some person, I have a job, I gotta go work. It's like, I don't have time to sit there and baby this game console for every 10 minutes for hours on end.
Well, like on the GameCube Smash, all those other modes, I never gave a shit. I never, ever.
I guess if you're someone with really no time, then you can go, that's not a problem for you. But
I never went into one of those modes. The only exception was I would do the sandbag sometimes because that was fun.
The sandbag's not in there. Where's my sandbag at?
Yeah. Why isn't he a character?
That's also true. Why isn't the sandbag a character?
I'd play him.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, okay, even if, you know, you have the time to waste on that, it's like, that's not fun. That's busy work, right? It's like, I just want to play the game. And have the fun and do the fun part. I don't want to do this busy work in order to play the game. I don't want to grind up and level up my character in order to play the RPG. I just want to
I'm
do the
sure there are
part.
people who really enjoy that cycle and enjoy that so-called story mode, but I'm not that person. I've never enjoyed story mode in any Smash game ever.
Well, so this the spirit guy, the whatever spirit world mode. The way it works is you walk around this map, and there's different encounters on the map, right? So, for example, you'll encounter, you know, some character, right? And it's a character that is not actually in Smash. So let me think of an example.
Like Skullman from Mega Man.
Right, so like Skullman from Mega Man. But when you actually get in the fight, you're fighting against the Mega Man character because it's still Smash Brothers. They didn't add Skullman to Mega Man, right? But it's Mega Man, and he's white, and he behaves in a certain way that's reminiscent of Skullman, right? So it's sort of like, you know, the closest thing. And some of them are really kind of hilarious and clever, right? Like, you know, and even when you play the classic mode, it's like if you play as Dr. Mario in classic mode, all the battles you do, it's like, okay, fight 4 Yoshis, a red, a green, and 3, you know, it's like the 3 colored Yoshis to match the 3 colors of germs that Dr. Mario fought. And it's like you're doing all these encounters that are custom Smash battles to match these, you know, characters that are sort of being represented, right? You know, that aren't in Smash Brothers. And it's really kind of cute and fun. All the different battles are like little fun puzzles to solve. The problem with it is that many of these battles in the Spirit World mode thing are basically ridiculously OP and you can't beat them. It's like you go in and you die in one hit and like, what the fuck was that nonsense? It's because there's actually this grindy RPG where you get spirits and spirit like essences things and you combine them and level them up to increase your energy or whatever. And
well, you get snacks. You can feed them snacks.
You feed them snacks to give them more points. And there's a rock, paper, scissors going on. So you actually need a red spirit, a green spirit, and a blue spirit. Because like if you fight a green one, you need to have a red one, I think.
No, see, I'm fine with
and
all
it's like,
of this.
You need to level up. Otherwise, if you go into that battle, they kill you in one hit. But if you level up, it's like, now we actually have a normal percentages. I don't die in one hit anymore.
But see, that's it. The only thing I don't like about the mode is I don't want to have to grind and level stuff up.
No.
I'd like to just treat them like puzzles.
It would be great to just have all these cute encounters where it's like, you know, lol, look, it's a Pac-Man encounter. Get it? I get it. It's hilarious. It's great. Very creative of you. That's awesome, right? You know,
Well, I think the way I might handle this is I'll probably ignore the mode for a long time, and eventually I'll acquire so many snacks.
So what I'm doing? Well, no, you acquire the snacks by playing the mode.
I'm pretty sure I was getting them from story mode when I'm unlocking
classic
characters.
mode. You get some in there, but also if you go in play the game in the mode, you get to like the cave, and you can put your spirits in the cave, and they just level up in there. You don't have to like it's But I'm doing it because it's fun, and also because what I do is I play it, and then when I stop playing it, it says, "Oh, a new challenger appeared." So it's like I can play the spirit mode, and I'm just playing it normally, and then when I stop playing it, oh look, a character has been unlocked. Right? It's sort of a convenient deal.
I guess pretty much, though, all I'm going to go for is unlocking all of the main characters.
Oh, yeah.
That is all I actually want out of
Once
Smash.
you've unlocked because all the maps are unlocked to begin with. So once you've unlocked all the characters, you are now in multiplayer heaven, party mode heaven. You have everybody.
Yep. And then there'll be DLC, probably like more characters and more maps and stuff.
They are charging for some DLCs, but Nintendo has seemed to settled on this sort of model of DLC but not evil DLC, at least not super evil DLC, where basically it's an expansion.
Yeah.
Right? So like Zelda Breath of the Wild did the same thing, where like you pay one fee, you're basically you could pay $50 for this game, but if you pay $75 for this game, we'll give you a lot more game, right? There isn't any DLC like after that. So like with Smash, you buy it for $50-$60, whatever they charge for it, and then after you put it in your Switch, it's like, okay, if you give us like $25 more, we're going to give you like all these expansion content for the next, year plus, right? You're going to get all these extra characters and all this extra stuff. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I'm not too broken up about that. Like, that's fine.
It's not like they're not selling you pay to win. They're not selling you micro loot boxes with random stuff.
It's not like that unconfirmed news about Fallout 76 that if true means we'll never play it.
It's not any different than buying an expansion for a board game, basically, right? It's like you pay some extra money to get more stuff or don't. Whatever.
But I think just based on my play of core Smash mechanics, the only part I actually care about, it's a perfectly fine Smash. It is now the new Smash for anyone who isn't like Counter-Strike 1.6 and GameCube Smash only.
Yeah, I don't know how pro people feel about it. I don't care. There is a guy who claims to be the best player of the previous Smash, the DS Wii U one.
Huh?
3DS, and he has a YouTube channel. I'll send Rem a link to it if I can find it.
I should watch that.
And he talks about the new Smash and like the technical details of it in a way that I can understand. And it's very informative and good, and his videos are good. I don't know if he's actually the best of the previous Smash, but I won't doubt him. I'm just, I can't confirm it.
I'm the best of the previous Smash.
Sure. But the problem is I cannot execute on anything he has taught me. Anything he's taught me I couldn't actually do when I was playing the game, even though I understood what he was saying.
But I think this is going to get a lot of play. I guess what's going to be really good for us old-timers is that we literally have 3 or 4 major gaming conventions and events where this will get played pretty much right after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
So
it also has so many characters and maps and items and all that stuff. I think the replay value really isn't going to run out, right?
Yep.
It's like with the N64 one, that, actually, the N64 one's really the only one that didn't have enough content where you could play it out. Like, all right, I've played every character and every map against every...
Yeah, the GameCube one never really got played out for me. Like, I would play it right now.
Starting at the GameCube one, there was always enough characters and enough maps that you wouldn't get bored. And then it only got bigger. So now it's so big, I can't imagine ever needing more. Like, I don't feel like I'm going to buy the next Smash whenever it comes, if it ever comes. Because, like, what do I need it for? I have this Smash. I'm not playing it on the internet or competitively.
Yep, that's the thing. The biggest things we can't answer yet are, one...
they say penultimate and then ultimate. It's not penultimate Smash. It's Smash Ultimate. That means final. I don't need another Smash.
So the open questions, the things we cannot review. 1, will the online multiplayer work at all?
I will never pay. I will never pay for Nintendo Online. Also, everyone says that it's really bad. I believe them.
And number 2, much more important.
I was smart not to pay for Nintendo Online. I never will. You shouldn't either.
Will local wireless play work at all?
I won't know until I try.
Nintendo's batting 0 on local multiplayer for some time now, and I'm really worried it won't work.
Even on GBAs where it worked with the cables would come loose, and you couldn't reconnect them.
Ruining like a 3-hour game of Advance Wars.
Yep.
There's no way to recover from that.
Yep.
So, yeah, I'm going to be smashing. You should be smashing too. Let's smash.
All right.
All right. Good show.
I need food.
I do too.